guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is just going to be a little get to know me because I think it's about time now. And while I do that, I'm also going to show you how I've made these cool little like colours in my hair. Okay, so all you are going to need for this is either some kind of coloured dread, preferably single-ended, but if you've just got a long one like this just came off of like one of those little hair bands that it was folded over in the middle to make it look like you had dreads. They look really naff when they're on, but we're going to use these to make them look cool. They're just like little wool dreads. Or you can just do it with a normal single-ended dread if you just want to add some volume to your dreads. So we're going to do one of these. I've got two here, so we'll probably do the green one because red looks gross in my hair while I talk. So I will just show you what we're going to do. Or you're also going to need some crochet hooks. So I like to just use this one here, just a single one. All you're going to do is, now this end here is tapered, so I want this at the bottom, so I'm going to fold the top over to make a little loop, and I'm just going to crochet this bit into here. So I'm going to put my hand behind it, kind of hold the loop together, and then my crochet hook is going to go through the thicker side and pull little bits from the thinner side through until that is a loop, basically. So yeah, get to know me. What do people want to know about me? Oof. Well, my name is Jess. I'm 22. My birthday, I'm an August baby. I am from the UK, so I grew up just on the outskirts of London. I went to school there, have friends there, all that kind of jazz. But then I wanted to study animals at college, so I went away for college. I lived at college for 2 years in Hampshire, which is where I met my boyfriend, and then I followed him around like a lost puppy for a very long time, and we've been together 6.5 years now, and we have our own house in Newmarket, which is where he grew up. So yeah, so we own our house. We got very lucky with that, and we were renting it for a little bit, and then the owner wanted to sell it, so we bought it. So we got very, very, very lucky there. We now have an awful lot of animals. So I got 2 rats. First of all, I'd moved out to a friend's house. I had to live with a friend for a couple of years while I was doing my apprenticeship in the horse racing industry. I'm saying a lot, sorry. So yeah, I had to move in with her, and while I was living with her, I got some pet rats. So I started off with 2. They were Cece and Rosie. She at the time had just the cat, I think. She's got a cat called Binksy. Honestly, a lot of the person that I am now is quite big thanks to that whole part of my life, because before I'd moved there, I'd looked into doing things like pole, and she already did hoop and pole. So I don't know if she would want me to give her a shout out properly, like her handle and stuff, but if she does, then I will leave her link down below, because her page is very, very exciting. We've both kind of grown a lot with the animals thing since then, but she is definitely one of the people that encouraged me to do what I wanted to do, which was like my dreads. And she had crazy, crazy hair. She's always had like blue hair, pink hair. Now she's got green hair. So she's always been my kind of encouragement in that sense of things. But it all originally came from my auntie, so I'll tell you about her afterwards. But basically I started off with the 2 rats when I lived with her, and she just had the cat. And then when I moved in here with Ben, I got a couple more rats, and then a couple more rats, and then a couple more rats. So I think in total, with the ones that we've lost as well, because rats only live for 3 years, I've had, I think, 9. We've got 6 in the cage behind where you are stood now. One of them is ill. You can hear her sneezing. She was actually bought for me by Natalie, the friend that I live with. We bought her because she was sick and they weren't doing anything about it, and we felt bad. So we bought her and her sister, and then made the pet shop pay for 6 weeks worth of treatment. It's great. But yeah, so I'm quite a sucker for sick animals anyway, or rescue animals. So all of ours, the majority of ours, are rescued. Stinky Cat, who you guys have all met, his name is actually Salem, but he doesn't answer to Salem. He only listens if you call him Stinky. He has also now started answering to Monkey, because I call him Monkey a lot. So as far as he's concerned, his name is either Stinky or Monkey. Bless you. And then, so he was rescued from, well, not so much rescued, but he was rescued from the farm that I work at. So I work on a kids farm park, running like animals encounters and things like that. And he was a farm cat, but he's got cat flu, so over the winter he was struggling quite a bit, and we volunteered, offered to take him home. He's actually really old now as well. When we took him to the vets, they said that they'd have put him between 11 and 16. So for a cat flu that has lived outside his whole life, more or less, as far as I know, to be that old, he's done blooming well. He's loving life now. You guys saw him in a couple of the other videos. He just eat, sleep, play, repeat, basically. So that's him, and then we've got a Royal Python called Fidget, who we took in February after his owner couldn't look after him anymore. He's a very close friend of ours, and one of Ben's kind of weekend bosses, actually. They run a bushcraft camp course thing, so if you guys are interested in any of the things that I've mentioned today, let me know, and I'll see if we can do a little thingy for one of them. But yeah, so we've had him since the start of February. Very different from the corn snakes that I look after at work. But he's done good. He's very good at eating. We've had one shed. I think he's about to shed now. His belly started going pink. So, I used to have a horse called George. But I had to give him away. He got very sick as well. And I couldn't afford to keep paying off his vet bill at the same time as paying for his stables. So he had to go. But he's living his best life now, and he is happy chappy. So I'm just going to show you this. I've got this far basically. So I've pretty much just pulled the short end through. Now all I'm going to do is kind of like wrap the fluff around. So you can't really see the gap as much, and then just carry on pulling the fuzzy bits through into the middle again. But yeah, so dreads. Why dreads? I love dreads. I think they are so pretty. My hair is a nightmare anyway because it's so long and it's so thick. Even if I like don't actually purposely dread my hair, it does it itself. But I first found out what dreads were when I was probably about 7 or 8. I believe, because my auntie was the coolest person I'd ever met in my life. She was this like hippy dippy chick, and I always just wanted to grow up to be exactly like my auntie. And she used to do like fire poi, and she was a burlesque dancer, and she used to go to festivals and work at festivals and things like that. And then she got dreads and she went travelling, and she lived in Thailand for a couple of months. And I think my nan is from Thailand anyway, or they lived in Thailand when they were younger anyway, so she went to kind of explore that. But yeah, and it was just so awesome to me. So since I was little, I always wanted dreads and to be just like my auntie. And then now that I've grown up and I've looked into them a bit, not only are they pretty and they look cool, I really like how you kind of see them through all kinds of different cultures. I like how culturally diverse they are. So obviously most people are going to know them from the Rastafarian culture, but they've also been seen to be used through like the Egyptians and the Greeks and Vikings, and obviously cavemen probably had dreads if they didn't ever dread their hair. If they didn't, they wouldn't have been able to brush their hair even. So, you know, it's seen through so many different cultures, which I'm not going to go into today because it's just not that kind of a video. If you want that kind of a video on like where I can talk about the history of dreads, let me know and I'll look into it. But today is not that video. So, but yeah, as far as the hippy dippy types wearing their dreads go, they've also adopted dreads. A lot of the times as a symbol of like, it's like letting yourself go. I don't think that's really the right way to put it, but it's like not really caring about what people look like on the outside, but more about what is on the inside. So being like, it doesn't matter what the outside looks like as long as you're a beautiful person on the inside, if that makes sense. And I remember reading somewhere as well is that some cultures or beliefs or whatever believe that your spirit and your energy leaves through the top of your head, kind of like heat does. So if you have your hair all in dreads, then it traps some of the good energy, and it just kind of keeps you a good person. So there are so many different cultures and beliefs that wear dreads for so many different reasons, and I just love it. I love all that. Like, I can't wait to go travelling one day so that I can go and see all these kinds of different places and just all these different ways of life. Bless you. So, yeah. In a nutshell, that's pretty much it. And right on cue, I have finished my little dready. So, we've got it in a little loop here. So all we are going to do to attach it to our heads, let me get one out. I choose you. Oh no, that's already attached to one. Pull. 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 Haha. So, all we're going to do is we're going to get our loop. We're going to get the end, we're going to put the end through the loop, so we've got this little bit. You're going to put your actual dread through the end, pull this all the way up to your scalp, to the root, and just tighten it so you can push it up, push it in, and then you have another colour in your hair. Woo! You can also do it just with a normal synthetic dread, so let me get another one out. So with the synthetic dread that I had earlier, you're going to do the exact same thing. So you're literally just going to get the end and you're going to poke it, damn nails, through the hole. poke it through the hole so you've got your little loop there. You want to put the dread attached to your head in through the hole. Try not to catch any of your beads on the way up. And then you're going to get it all the way up to the top and just pull it to tighten it. And then you've got an extra fake one, extension or whatever, attached to your actual dreads. And that's it. And then when you've got them all up and wrapped around, they look super cool. So pretty. Okay. So yeah, thanks for letting me babble. Hopefully you know a little bit more about me now. If you guys want to know anything else, if you want any extra videos, any particular videos, I've got a bunch of them lined up, but if you are after anything specific, then make sure you let me know, send me a message on Instagram, leave a comment, whatever, and I will have a look at that. Cool, thanks for watching, bye!